Fans are not ready for this. What's about to happen to Jungkook will completely change everything. His love life, his identity, and the next 5 years of his life. This is not just a prediction. This is a deep reading of his path, based on his past, his patterns, and the energy he carries. And if you're a real fan, you might feel this is accurate in a way that's hard to explain. But before we talk about his future, there's something important you need to understand, because most fans completely missed this. Jungkook didn't just become successful. He was placed into a path very early. From a young age, he was chosen, trained, and shaped into something much bigger than a normal life. And when that happens to someone, two identities are created, the one the world sees, and the one that stays hidden. And Jungkook has been living between those two worlds for years. On the outside, he is confident, talented, and admired. But internally, there has always been a search for identity, a search for who am I without all of this. And this is why the phase he is entering now is so important. Because right now, he is not in a peak, he is not in a decline, he is in a reset. And most people misunderstand what a reset actually means. They think it's losing something, but it's not. It's shedding what no longer fits. Over the next 1 to 2 years, Jungkook enters a period of transformation. And this is where things start to feel different. Not bad, but unfamiliar. Fans might notice small changes first. His tone, his choices, his energy, something will feel slightly off, but not in a negative way. In a way that signals change. Because what's happening internally is this. He is starting to separate himself from the version of him that was created for the world, and moving closer to the version that is real. This phase can feel unstable, because growth is not smooth. It's messy, it's uncertain, and it doesn't always look good from the outside. There may be moments where fans question things. Moments where people say, he's different, but here's the truth. He is different, and he needs to be, because staying the same would mean staying limited. But this is only the beginning, because around the 3rd year, everything shifts. This is where a major breakthrough happens, not just in his career, but in how people see him. There is a strong indication of a defining project, something that changes perception, something that makes people stop and say, wait, this is not the same Jungkook. And that's exactly the point. This is the moment where he stops being seen as just an idol and starts being recognized as an artist. A real one, the kind that creates from within, not just performs for others. His audience will change, not necessarily smaller, but deeper, more connected, more aligned. People who understand him beyond the surface. And this is where influence grows, not through numbers, but through impact. And then we move into years 4 and 5. This is where things stabilize, where everything that felt uncertain starts to make sense. He becomes clearer, more grounded. More defined, not perfect, but complete in a different way. At this stage, he is no longer just part of the system. He stands outside of it, above it, not in terms of ego, but in terms of identity. He becomes something rare, not just famous, not just talented, but symbolic. Someone who represents a certain kind of evolution. And now, we need to talk about what many of you are really here for. His love life. There is a strong indication that he will encounter a relationship that deeply affects his direction. Not something light, not something temporary, but something significant. The kind of connection that changes how you think, how you move, how you choose. The person involved is not someone who seeks attention, not someone who needs the spotlight, but someone who is emotionally grounded, stable, and able to understand him. Beyond his public image, this kind of relationship is different, because it doesn't exist for others to see. It exists for the people inside it, and that's why it may not be fully visible. He may choose to protect it, to keep it separate from his public life, which means fans may feel like something is happening without ever fully knowing what it is. And this creates something interesting, because as he changes, his relationship with his fans changes too. Some people will feel like he's becoming distant, like he's harder to understand, like he's not the same person they fell in love with, and others will feel closer than ever. Because they recognize the shift, they understand the depth. This is the moment where everything splits between those who loved the image and those who loved the person, because growth always creates distance. Not because someone is leaving, but because they are becoming, and not everyone follows that path. So if you truly support him, this is the moment that matters. Can you accept the version of him that is still evolving? Or do you only love who he used to be? Because the next 5 years are not about becoming bigger, they are about becoming real. So if we summarize his path, from being chosen early, to searching for identity, to breaking away from expectations, to becoming something authentic, this is not just a career, this is a transformation. And transformations are never comfortable, but they are always powerful. So what do you think? Are fans really ready for this version of Jungkook or not? Be honest. And if you felt something while watching this, drop a comment. And if there's another artist you want me to read next, tell me their name. Because what you see on the surface is never the full story.